How's it going, everyone? Welcome to CKO Gaming. This is gonna be UFC 280 Oliveira vs. Makhachev fight predictions. I'm gonna start on the main card with the first fight, give my predictions of how I see the fights playing out. Don't forget to hit the like, share, sub, and leave me a comment in the comment section below on what your fight predictions are. Let's get into the video. First fight on the main card at lightweight, Dariush vs. Gamrot. Dariush was ranked high, but got injured. Now that he's coming back, he's having to take a fight with someone that's lower in the division, but that's very good. And I think Gamrot is younger and also does all the things that Dariush does good, but even better. The stand-up is better for Gamrot, and his ground game's better. I think Dariush will be able to withstand a lot of punishment or survive the ground game. So I'm going to go with Gamrot to win a decision. Next up at welterweight, we got Muhammad versus Brady. Kind of similar to Dariush and Gamrot. Muhammad's highly ranked and didn't want to have to wait for a title shot or the next highly ranked opponent. So he's fighting someone that's lower in the ranks than what he is. But I think Brady does a lot of what Muhammad does, but probably a little bit better, especially when it comes to the striking. The ground game is kind of equaling out of how I would see it, but I think the age advantage, Bilal being 34 and Brady being 29, I think Brady will be able just to edge him out a little bit. So I'm going to go with a decision for Brady. A fight that I wanted to touch on that may end up being on the main card beside the Muhammad and Brady fight is at women's flyweight, Caitlin versus Manon. Caitlin ended up missing weight, but I think everything that Caitlin does, striking, ground game, clinch control, is a little bit better than Manon. So I'm going to give that fight to Caitlin by decision. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on that fight in case it is on the main card. Next up at bantamweight, we got Peter Yan, ranked number 1 versus Sean O'Malley, ranked 12. No one in the division was ready to fight, so they ended up booking this fight. I think it's a good fight for O'Malley because it's a 3-round fight. Yan starts off slow. O'Malley is kind of quick in the first round. And I think the power advantage would go to Yan. O'Malley has the output. But being that Yan starts off so slow, I think O'Malley will be able to start fast and start picking him apart. And I think he'll continue that throughout the fight. And Yan normally would start to come on late round 2, early round 3. But being that this is just a 3-round fight, it really does benefit O'Malley. Plus he has a 72-inch reach compared to Yan's 67. They both don't really wrestle a whole lot, so I think it's going to be more of a striking fight. And I think O'Malley's going to outstrike him, outpoint him. I could see him hurting him because he fights long, but Yan is very durable, so I'm going to go with O'Malley to win a decision. Next up at bantamweight for the bantamweight championship, Aljamain the champion versus TJ Dillashaw, the challenger. Dillashaw coming off of a long layoff and injuries. He's 36 years old compared to Aljamain 33. The striking advantage I would give to Dillashaw. The grappling advantage I would normally give to Aljamain, but Dillashaw has a good enough wrestling defense base. Now the submission threat, I would say Aljamain has the benefit there. So if he's able to get Dillashaw's back and threaten with submissions, I can see TJ leaving his neck open. But I think he's going to be able to stuff the majority of the takedowns, and it's going to end up being a striking fight. And I just don't see what Aljamain can do that TJ hasn't seen. And I think the overall value and most likely power, I think TJ will be able to catch him. So I'm going to go with TJ to win a round 3 KO, TKO. And next up, we'll get into the main event for the lightweight title. Alright, here we go. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship. Oliveira, I think with his submission threat, is gonna stop a lot of what Makhachev brings to the table. Striking, I definitely give the edge to Oliveira. And I think in this fight, any kind of takedown that Makhachev tries to go for, Oliveira has threats when it comes to submissions. So Makhachev has to be very careful of how he does any of his takedowns, not to leave his neck open or to allow Oliveira to be able to take his back. I think what's going to happen in this fight, Makhachev is going to try a lot of takedowns. Oliveira is going to threaten with his submissions, and it's going to kind of cancel each other out. So most of the fight early, I think, is going to take place on the feet. And I think Charles is going to be able to fight long and hit him at a distance. He's really good with a cross. I think he'll be able to catch Makhachev and hurt him, which is going to make Makhachev go for kind of a lazy takedown. And he's going to end up leaving his neck or his back open. And that's going to allow Charles to be able to catch him with a submission. So I'm going with Charles, round 2 submission. And that'll do it for UFC 280 fight predictions. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section below on what your predictions are for the fights. Also, hit the like, share, and sub button. And until next time, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Enjoy the fights. Have a good one.